How can I be the best son for God, and how can I be the best father to my sons? And that's really like my main goal in life. And I want them to know that I will support them, that I will be there for them, and that I will fight for them and for their place in this world. And I'm not going to go down without a few shots fired. Figuratively, of course, we're saying, but physically too, if needed, And there's like mama bear, you. What about dad? What about dad? Don't my kids. Don't my income. Don't my ability to take care of my kids. I'll you up.
I don't know. Was dad getting his dick wet with another influencer and cheating on his wife? Because that's what Elijah Schaffer did. What about dad? Anyway, I guess I kind of spoiled the story already, but that video was unhinged and I couldn't help myself. So after a month-long absence, far-right podcaster Elijah Schaffer has reemerged. And he's claiming to be one of the most vocal men in support of traditional family values. And I call because everything I've seen from Elijah Schaffer says otherwise. So look, that's because of the fact that his wife packed up their kids and left him. After that happened, Schaffer pretended as though they went missing, and he put up a few panicky posts on X before immediately deleting them. And then he was exposed for allegedly cheating, although there's quite a few receipts that we'll get to, allegedly cheating on his wife with another trad life influencer, was some woman named Sarah Stock. Wasn't really that familiar with her, although I did come across a video of her participating in one of those like Jubilee debates. Anyway, Elijah Schaffer used to host a show at The Blaze, but then he was fired in 2022 after a coworker alleged that he had sexually assaulted her. Now, after that, he tried his hand at being an online family man who basically shamed others for not having strong marriages or traditional households. So 32-year-old father of two boys, this is a post on X, beautiful wife, dropped 12 pounds in 30 days and getting shredded. Been completely sober, mentored by a priest, and spending my time with other men who have the maturity and life I desire to live out. Far from perfect, but consistently reaching my goals. Are you consistently reaching your goals? Now, suddenly, several weeks ago, he posted that his wife and children were missing. He made it seem as though they were like abducted or that there was some sort of foul play. So people naturally started kind of panicking about it. He took the post down. Then earlier this month, Milo Yiannopoulos, of all people, who I would take anything he says with a grain of salt. He posts several recordings and transcripts exposing Elijah Schaffer. So he did have receipts. So in one recording, a man who sounds very much like Elijah Schaffer is, talking about his drinking problem. I listened to the audio and it sounds like he's being verbally abusive to his wife. Another recording Milo shared featured Schaffer's now former Rift TV employee, Sarah Stock. That's the woman that he allegedly had an affair with, who also, by the way, fancies herself a trad wife. So she referred to herself as a white nationalist, by the way, during one of those Jubilee debates. Anyway, Stock claimed to be this huge supporter of purity. And according to Milo, Stock made her fiance save himself until they got married. Okay. So in the meantime, as they were fiancés, she was banging Schaffer, allegedly. So Elijah Schaffer and Sarah Stock, neither one of them have denied these allegations at all. And we'll listen to the audio in a second, but first, this is what Milo wrote on X. He says, in February of 2025, Sarah Stock and Elijah Schaffer began sleeping together. The affair ended on the day she got engaged. About 6 months later, In that time, they experienced multiple pregnancy scares. It is alleged by one former acquaintance that Sarah got at least one abortion. By the way, we have no evidence of that whatsoever. And it's, even though these people are bad people, I think it's gross to disclose that. Anyway, Stock and Schaffer had sex on the day they met at the CPAC conference. What's going on at these conservative conferences? It seems like there's a lot of not so conservative behavior taking place. But anyway, in recordings of Stock confessing the affair, and I did hear that audio as well, she claims large amounts of alcohol were involved. They told each other they loved one another. Elijah told her he was thinking of leaving his wife for her. Now, look, to be clear, if she maintains that he got her drunk and then took advantage of her, well, that's sexual assault. She hasn't alleged sexual assault. There's been no indication that she wants to press charges or anything like that. But Milo did provide some evidence, and you're about to listen to it. So this is some of the audio we were referring to.
It obviously was my fault too. What happened between us, but even that was like not, like, I don't know. I felt like it was like he got me like very intoxicated. Like I don't even like remember most of it. And I was even like thinking back, because it was like at CPAC the 2 nights we were there, and the second night I was like breaking out in like a rash, and so he's like, oh, like get some Benadryl, it'll help with the rash. And like now I'm thinking back, and it's like that's probably why I like blacked out, because he like intentionally gave me Benadryl and like fed me a bunch of shots and stuff. I deeply regret that, but also like I'm not a slut. Like I mean that's like a horrible thing, but it's not like I really am like sleeping around or have been. So
yeah, I mean you just had a fling with Elijah, and that's, I don't know, I guess he got upset about it. He's just exaggerating. Yeah, I mean.
So look, I wasn't in the room. I don't know what happened. She's alleging something pretty serious there, and it's up to her whether or not she pursues charges. But she did allude to having a fling with Schaffer that she felt bad about, and that it's something she'd never tell her husband about. By the way, I don't know who that guy is who's recording her. And that, like, there are no good people in this story. That person is a bad person. Let's just leave it there. But anyway, neither Schaffer nor Stock has denied that, they had a sexual fling before she got married, as she was engaged. And here's the thing. If she were having sex before she got married to her fiance, there's nothing wrong with that. But Stock likes to go around judging other couples for doing so. And in the meantime, she's having sex with Schaffer, cheating on her fiance. I just think so many of these influencers are total frauds. And part of me is a little bit envious of how they can act totally differently in public from who they really are, because I would like to hold my cards close to my chest a little bit sometimes. I'm incapable of doing it, and I've suffered consequences for it. Like, what you see is what you get, okay? But like these people, it's amazing. It's amazing how they can literally earn a living judging the lives of everyone else when they are engaged in some of the most shady crap imaginable. You should have just been having sex with your fiance. Wow. Okay, anyway. So Stock posted this before permanently deleting her ex account. She said, a lot of what has been said about me is completely untrue. That being said, there are mistakes / unwise decisions I have made that I deeply regret. I apologize to everyone who has been scandalized by this. Please pray logging off now. I'm not scandalized by it. I just want my audience to know the people who judge the most have the most to hide. If people are judging others harshly, you got to ask yourself, what are they hiding? Schaffer, on the other hand, has made more questionable posts on social media. He says, thank you, Nero, for making me famous. You effing snake bitch. Blood is in the water and I effing hate sharks. And then he seems to confess to his infidelity because, by the way, obviously he was married too with kids. He's now getting a divorce. But he says, I have a Johnson, and it works. Everyone can go cry about it. I'm taking applications for podcast appearances. I'll release the info they are shopping about me, myself. Okay. No, thank you. Adding in another post, he says, what's done in darkness will be shown in the light. It sure will. It sure will. I honestly gave my life to God a few months ago. We've all done things we know we shouldn't be doing. Publicly stone me. You won't make me hate myself for what I repented of. I don't think that someone should be demonized for a mistake they made. I believe in people's ability to rehabilitate themselves and all that stuff. But you're not there. You're not even close. And I don't really understand what you mean when you say I have a D that works. Are you just saying that husbands should be free to cheat on their spouses, on their wives, because they have a sexual organ that can still function? Like, what is that? Is that a traditional value? Like, I just stop already. If it isn't already very clear that the whole trad life thing is totally fake, doesn't really exist. I mean, I'm sure it exists, but the people who actually live that lifestyle aren't influencers. They're not like making money off of that lifestyle choice. They're quietly living their lives with their wife or husband and kids, and they're leaving everyone else alone. And it would be awesome if people like Schaffer and Stock did the same. Because we don't need to be judged by people who have no morality, no guiding principles, just, I guess, lust and hate. I guess that's what motivates them. It's interesting.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.